growing up, like everyone else, I had my own issues with my parents. God rest their soul, I love them. But there just was times where they would not understand where I was coming from. So the time that sticks out in my memory is when in grade 6 my class we're going camping in Ottawa, and everyone was psyched, and everyone was going to stay in cabins, and we were all planning who we were going to sleep with, and it was this big huge deal.
So I found a bunch of my old diaries, and I found all these letters I had written to my parents, like, "Mom, why don't you get me? Dad, why do you hate me?" And but nothing ever came from it. I never gave it to them to show why we were having these problems. I just kind of used it to vent my own anger.
And so I asked my parents, all excited and, talking a mile a minute, and they just look at me, and my dad goes, "What? You want to sleep on the floor?" And I'm like, well, it's an experience. And in his mind, sleeping on the floor just did not happen. You did not sleep in a tent or even a cabin. He thought a cabin was just not good enough. Outdoors. Safe to say, I never got to go.
If we had spilled at that point, we would have been able to give it to each other so that we can understand one another better. So we wouldn't have all these angry notes and journals that you're going to find 10 years later and be like, wow, I was an angry teen. Spill would have really helped me at that point. So I think that our magazine can really help teens that are doing this now. So no more angry letters.
And that's just one of countless times where we just had miscommunication, where they didn't understand where I was coming from and I couldn't understand their logic. And I wish there was something like Spill, where, I could go to my parents and be like, "Here, read this article," or, casually flag something and leave it on the dining room table hoping they'd pick it up, and maybe they'd understand where I was coming from.